Okay, lekker. So, it's Sunday now. Working on a Sunday. Yesterday I did the timing on the motor, but it's turning quite well. Then yeah, I did put the flywheel on as well. Here at the bottom. Next up, the clutch, and then the gearbox needs to go in as well. Yeah, I don't need to replace the clutch because it's in a still alright condition. So yeah, we're gonna get the gearbox on, well, the clutch on, gearbox on, and then move over to the exhaust manifold, intake manifold, and get everything basically back together as far as possible, so I can get the motor back into the car. Hopefully I can get this thing running today. Lekker.
Lekker. So first things first, we need to get the clutch plate in, and then the pressure plate that goes in after that. It's just basically 8 bolts, or 8 Allen key bolts holding it onto the flywheel itself, which is also a dual mesh flywheel. Those things are crazy expensive though. And then it's over to the gearbox, just getting everything lined up properly, and then it should just press in, and then obviously just getting 1 or 2 bolts on the top so it can just hold on closer to the motor, and then you can get it tightened up.
The suppression. The use of marijuana.
After the gearbox is in, then it's the starter, which in hindsight I should have tested before, and we'll see why later in the video. But yeah, that's the starter on, basically just tightening everything, and then it's over to the motor.
Okay, lekker. Gearbox is on, clutch in, everything. Yeah, now for the turbo and the exhaust manifold, and then the intake manifold, and then just the timing covers. Then you can go back in. We're getting closer, so close, so close now. Yeah.
So like I said, it's basically the intake manifold and the exhaust manifold, but first we need to sort out the 2 pipes that goes to the turbo. One is a feed, which works off of the oil pump, which feeds oil to the turbo, and the other one is just a return, so oil can go back into the sump, because it's not a dry sump, it's a wet sump motor. This then it's on with the exhaust manifold with the turbo. The turbo didn't need any work done on it, as I did put a new core in about 3-4 months ago, so the turbo is still in a basically perfect condition. Then over to the other side of the motor, getting the intake manifold with the throttle body on it, getting that back in. That's also just about 8 or 9 bolts holding it on with a new gasket, obviously. And then last but not least, it's the timing covers on the side of the motor that basically just protects the timing belt from getting hurt or anything getting stuck in there, because if it jumps timing you could bend valves and that could cause proper problems. Once that's done, it's just getting the motor back in, and it's a little bit difficult. If you check the first video you'll see why. There's absolutely no space between the two sides of the car. It would have been easier to drop everything from the bottom, but that means taking out the subframe as well. Once the motor is in, it's just getting all that plugs and wires and all that kind of things back on the motor, starting off with the alternator, which is 2 plugs, and then just the main power cable, and then over to the aircon compressor as well. Then on top of the motor, it's just the CO2 sensor, the lumbar sensor that goes on the back right behind the turbo. That's before the cat, but that thing doesn't really matter because the car was decatted, but you have to keep those kind of things in. And then it's over to the injectors. That's just basically 4 plugs that presses back on top of the injector rail. And then while everything is new inside the motor, it's the best option to put brand new spark plugs in as well. While the other ones wasn't too bad, it's better to put in new ones and get it over and done with, everything sorted. On top of the spark plugs, it's just a 4 pencil coils that goes on and then gets screwed on with 10mm bolts, and then those plugs can go in as well. That's just basically for the spark for the motor to ignite the fuel that goes on top of the piston. Okay, so everything's back together now. It's again another day. It's
car's taking me flip along, but everything's back together as of the motor and so on. So you need to get the front end back in and then the wheels back on, and then we can go from there. Lekker.
So on the front end, it's just that bonnet catch with the hooters and all that kind of things that goes onto it. That's just 2 bolts holding that on, so it's a quick job.
Okay, so we have a little bit of a problem. The front end is back now on the car as of now. I thought the camera did record it, but yeah, the card was full. But in any case, nonetheless, the brake disc pads, everything's back on, this side, that side as well. But we have a problem. I tried to start the car, but it keeps on just clicking, almost like the battery is flat. So I ended up trying, like something is shorting out, checking all the wires. It seems like all the wires is fine on it. But then I took out the starter, and then the starter looks like it's got a dead shot in it. I'll put it up on the screen. A video as well, just to show you guys what's actually happening. It's like it's turning too slow. It should turn a lot quicker than this. So in the end of the day, I think I'm gonna have to take the starter in, get them to recondition it or get new starter, but I think they can recondition it, and then we'll put it back in and then check if it can start then. Yeah, and then I've got another problem. The clutch is little bit spongy on top, only the top little bit. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what you're gonna do there. What's the story there? Yeah, but this is it so far. Lekker.